Well folks, as you can see, we got another project in the driveway today. This time it's a 1962 Chevy C20 that's been converted to four-wheel drive. And I picked this up across town. A friend of mine's parents bought a house and this was on the property. So I ended up bringing it home, and what we're going to be doing is pulling the body off and everything else, stripping it down to the engine and the drivetrain. And then I got to get the engine running because the frame isn't in too bad a shape. The cross members are the rugged parts. As you can see, there's some holes and stuff in it, but the rear end rolls, the front end rolls, and the steers. Not sure how the transmission or the transfer case are yet, but I'm going to go around the truck quick, and you can see that the body is just complete junk, and they put a piece of flat bar on it to hold the front and the back together, because I don't know how well you can see it, but there isn't much left good to this. It's all rotted out underneath here. You can see it was a plow truck, and they definitely got their money's worth out of it. But the windows have been broken out of this thing for years, and it really didn't do it any good because it just completely destroyed the inside of the truck farther than what it was. There's not much good left on it. The key switch, maybe some knobs, steering column. As you can see here on the ID tag, it's got 2 C25. So it was a C20, and somebody converted it to four-wheel drive, which I found out as I pulled the mats out, because you can see there's a flame cut hump right there, which is actually loose from the hump in the cab. So the body was dropped on a different chassis. And I got holes all in the floor over here, and there was 4 layers of rubber mats on here too. It's got the Western plow set up on the front. It still has the plow pump and all the controls for it, and the little reservoir, which is over there, which isn't leaking actually. It's a plastic reservoir. But it's got the straight 6 engine. I don't know what size it is offhand. I haven't looked for any numbers yet. It doesn't roll over yet. I haven't tried too hard, but hopefully I'll be able to get it running. Obviously enough, if I do, there will be a video on that for sure. But the rest of the body is just going to get scrapped, because aside from stuff like these cowls and the emblems, and there's really nothing that's good left on it. Because I know that a lot of you that keep tabs on my projects who saw the 64, the red 64 I'm doing when that came apart. This makes that look like a West Coast truck, because this is just so incredibly bad with rot. So that's just a quick overview, folks, before I start tearing into this. Right now I got to finish cleaning up the floor. I'm going to pull this bench seat out. I'm going to take apart the dash the best I can, and then I'm going to go get the Sawzall and probably cut the roof right off of this, right across the back, and start pulling this thing apart to the best of my ability in the driveway. So anyways, let's get to it. Alright, the seat's out. I ended up Sawzalling it out because the mounts were already gone. So I took them out, swept out all the glass and pine needles. Now we got to pull out the tank and get that out of here. Get a little bit better look at the floor. It's really soft over in this area, and it still has the clips for the jack and for the handles and the crank and everything, which is kind of cool. So if I can, I'm going to save those, because I already have a couple of sets of them already, so I'll hang on to them. And we can also get this gas pedal unbolted, or at least pulled out of the rot, and then we can pull this hump off of here too and take a look down inside. But get the straps off this tank and get this thing out. Well, got a nest of ants back there. Well, one good thing, we don't have to worry about the gas tank being full of water. It's a little bit rotted through. It's also full of ants too. Alright, tank's out. Swept it all out. And there's some even more rot up underneath there, below the rear window. And there you have it. You can see where somebody cut out, from the looks of it, a low hump floor to fit the cab over the chassis. And you can see where this was all flame cut and somebody just rusted it over it. While I was burning off bolts for the steering column, I figure I'll burn off this plow frame at the same time. Well, I can hit this plow frame all I want. And if you guys can see that, probably not too well, they welded it to the frame of the truck. So I'm going to have to get the cutoff wheel and slice that a bunch and see if I can get that undone. Alright folks, we're on day 2 of the 62 Chevy truck disassembly. Last night I got the front fenders pulled off on both sides. Came off pretty easy, obviously enough, there ain't much left to them. I got the front grille ready to come off this afternoon. I ended up, all I have to do is burn these brackets off or whatever's left of them. Everything else has been unbolted. The core support I'm going to leave on here for now because I'm going to leave the radiator in it so I can see about this engine. It is stuck as far as I can tell. I can wiggle the water pump pulley and the generator pulley back and forth, and the crank is not moving whatsoever. But it has the hood on it, so I don't know how much moisture or whatever got down inside that carburetor, but we're going to pull the plugs out and put some oil in there and let it set for a bit, see if we can break it free. But for now, aside from taking that apart and getting the hood off of here, I got to finish disassembling the dash. I'm debating whether I'm going to pull it out of here, actually cut the dash out of the cab and save it, because it's still somewhat solid. So I'm debating on that, and then we can start cutting this cab apart, because I'm going to cut it right across the back, finish cutting this door pillar, and we're just going to take the whole top off, and then I can take the Sawzall and I can quarter sections on the bottom to get it off the truck, because I really like to get the cab off today. So anyways, let's get to it. Alright, well there you have it. It's all stripped down to just the engine and the drivetrain, and that's where we're going to keep it for now. The only thing I didn't cut in half yet was the front firewall of the cab, mainly because this piece here for the vent buckets, not the vent buckets themselves because they separate here, but this piece is in pretty decent shape aside from the rest of the truck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to drill all the spot welds out, and I'm going to keep this for my 64 cab because I've only got one other one of these from the gold Chevy cab that some of you guys might remember, and it's a little bit twisted up, and this one's pretty straight for the most part. Providing that this isn't all too rotted in here, I might be able to save it. So I'm going to take a look at that and we can see about what we're going to do there. But aside from that, everything else seems to be there. The transfer case does shift, which is a plus. The transmission doesn't, so I might have to pull the top cover off. I don't know how much water has leaked down inside of here before. The engine, I still got to find the numbers on it and see what it is. It's probably a 2 something. I have no idea, but I got to get the spark plugs pulled out, get some oil put down in the cylinders, see if we can free this thing up and pull the carburetor apart and run it through the bead blaster, clean it up some. It'll be really cool if I can get it running. I do know I'm going to have to clean out the bell housing because that's full of mice right now, but aside from that, that's pretty much where it sits for the time being. So after this video, there should be one with the repair of this engine, providing that everything goes well and it's not a piece of junk, and we can get it running. So hopefully you guys will be seeing a little bit of that after. So there you have it, folks.